especially coming from like a Nigerian household, the plan is you go to school, you go to college, you go to
Yeah.
uni. So for me to say, oh no, I don't want to go to uni, I'm going to take 1 year to braid hair.
Hi everyone, I'm Joy. Today we'll be diving into the story behind Yewandes braids. If you've ever wondered how this amazing hair brand started, stay tuned. Hi Yewande, it's so good to have you here.
Hey.
Can you please do a quick introduction so our viewers can know more about you?
Yeah, my name is Yewande, if you've not guessed already. My name is Yewande and I am the owner of the brand, and I'm the name behind the brand Yewandes Braids.
That's our OG right here, the OG of Yewandes braids. So, Yewande, can you tell us how did your braiding journey start? How was your first braiding experience like?
I can't remember my exact first braiding experience, but braiding has always been something that I like to do. So I've always, if I remember very well, when I was very young, I used to have dolls, and obviously every girl would like braid the doll's hair and, and stuff like that. So I used to have that when I was young. And then my little sister as well, I feel like she's like the OG client because she's actually one of the brand ambassadors. But anyway, I would say that's one of my earliest clients, if you will, my baby sister. I used to do her hair a lot for school. So that was where I got most of my hands-on practice from before I then moved over to like my friends from school who would stay over at my house so I can get their hair done.
At what point did you say, oh, I'm going to turn this skill of mine into like a brand or a business?
That was sometime after college. So I just decided that I wanted to focus on braiding for a while. It's been something I've been doing for a while after that, at that point. So I would usually do my friends' hair from school. And eventually they would like recommend me to like their friends. And then eventually I started doing more and more people. And then when college came, I had a lot of clients at that point. So rather than have like a side job, hairdressing was my main thing. And then by the time I was ready to go to uni, I just decided to take a gap year so I could focus on braiding. And that was when I decided this was going to be a brand. This was something I wanted to take quite seriously.
Okay, so those friends you were doing it for, were you doing it for free or?
Yeah, so I would mostly do their hair for free. And then eventually I started getting paid. My first pay was actually from a friend's mom who decided that I did a good job.
Wow.
So she basically told me to send my account details, and then she paid me £30 for doing my friend's hair. But yeah, eventually I started getting paid as well.
Did you like learn it, or it's just a skill you just woke up one morning and it was there?
I would say I had to learn. It was definitely something I had to learn because I'm left-handed. Most of the people who taught me how to braid and style hair were right-handed. So even though I could see them do it, I had to find my way of doing the braiding and the styling, which is why I named it Yewandes Braids, because I felt like it was something I was doing, but differently, my own way. So it was something I had to learn. But then I feel like the passion was basically what gave me that consistency of still trying, even when I had challenges with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got the parts where you said, because you were different, so that was why you named it Yewandes Braids.
Yeah.
Can you explain more to the viewers so they know like what made you give the name Yewandes Braids? Like, what was the drive?
My emphasis on the name being my name was because I felt like I was doing it differently. Okay. So I was quite particular about, and I feel like to this day it still shows. Like if you look at the way, even though I don't really braid anymore, like when the other ladies braid, there's almost like a signature look that you get with our braids. So I'm very particular about how like the structure of our braid is, the sizing of our braid, the consistency of the braid. There's a particular method that I'm very, very keen on when it comes to the way I braid, and I made sure that that translates to everybody who works in the salon. So I feel like that's why I called it Yewandes Braids, because even before I was able to start hiring people, there was that signature look that a lot of people came to me for. Yeah. So that was why it's called Yewandes Braids.
Is there like any points where you had some challenges like pricing, getting clients, and at any point did you like, nah, I can't do this, and like you felt like giving up?
In my early days, yes, it was a bit of a challenge establishing yourself.
Yeah.
back in the days. It's been a long time now. But if I remember, there were times when I wasn't really sure about the direction I wanted to take. Like I was always passionate about braiding.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something I learned in school. So the challenge to me was reaching a stage where I wanted to start exploring other styles other than braiding, but not necessarily having an avenue to do it.
Okay.
So say for example, if I wanted to do something like a wash or it wasn't something I could offer just because I didn't have the space for it. And when I initially started, I used to do mobile services. So I actually used to travel to people. So another challenge I would face, for example, was maybe if I told them, oh, I'll be there within the hour, and then maybe something happens on the way, then I have problems with traveling, and then it takes me like an hour and a half, then getting back home. So, yeah, there were challenges, but it never really deterred me from what I wanted to do. It never really took away the passion for me. I feel like the passion was always motivated me to keep trying and keep going.
Yeah, that's a very good passion there. If you could tell your younger self something, like the girl that first picked up the comb, what would it be?
I would tell her that she chose well. She did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would clap for her because there was a time, like I said earlier, where I wasn't really sure what direction I wanted to take. And even when I decided that that was something I was going to choose, I really wasn't sure how it was going to pan out. Because obviously, especially coming from like a Nigerian household, the plan is you go to school, you go to college, you go to uni. So for me to say, oh no, I don't want to go to uni, I'm going to take 1 year to braid hair. So I'm glad I stood by what I believed in. And I'm glad I followed that path because I mean I don't know how it would have turned out if I went to uni. But I'm glad I chose this path. So if I was gonna tell her something, I would just give her a pat on the back and say thank you.
You're proud of her.
Yeah, I really am.
Here she is. She owns one of like the best African braiding shop here in Manchester. So wrap for today, guys. Thanks for listening and getting to know the story behind Yewandes braids. There were a lot of things I didn't know today, but I know them now. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram and our TikTok page and book your next appointment. Until next time. Bye, guys.